Hi, my name's Lou. I own and operate Diversified Custom Cars here in Tumwater, Washington. And I've been building cars since the early 1960s. A lot of the cars that we get in have pot metal parts or steel parts that are very difficult to get or impossible to get. We pride ourselves on being able to save those pieces, and we haven't run across anything we haven't been able to save yet. Today we're going to be showing you a little bit about what the metal spray process does and how it works. Chrome platers typically, with pot metal pieces, if they're pitted really bad, every place that there's one of those pits, you're going to have a problem with the chrome blistering. Sometimes you can get the copper to stick, but then you end up doing a lot of hefty building and so forth to get rid of the pits, like this piece. Today we're going to be fixing a piece that is actually missing about 3/4 of its end. This piece is the way it's supposed to look. Now, in order to rebuild that front piece, I've made a small backup plate. Now, with the metal spray process, the metal spray will not bond to anything that is not sandblasted completely with what we call a true white sandblast surface. So the backup piece is not sandblasted at all. It's shiny. The metal spray will not stick to it, but it acts as a backup for us. What this piece will do, it'll go in the back, we'll clamp it in place, and then I will start the build with the metal sprayer until I get enough material that the actual front of this is back to where it's supposed to be. Metal spray is funny. We can spray and then we can grind immediately after we spray. So in the next process, when we take this outside to be sprayed, you'll see me spray a little bit. I'll stop and grind and spray and grind until I get the front edge of that piece exactly where it's supposed to be. This type of a repair can't really be done by some of the low temp soldering processes. You could, but it would take forever. We use silicon bronze for all of our repairs on pot metal, even if we have to go over the entire surface to make sure that there is no pitting and no reaction with the materials when they go to chrome plating. Silicon bronze seems to be the strongest material that we've been able to find that will handle this. Pot metal is difficult to work with because it does have a low melt temp. The metal spray goes on at approximately 2400 degrees, but the reason it doesn't melt the pot metal is it's pushed by 40 cubic feet of air per minute. So it kind of cools at the same time it's applying the material to whatever we're trying to repair. So from this point, once we get this all set, we can do the actual metal spray, and then we'll show you how that happens. And then it's ready to go to the chrome plater, and they have no problem working with that silicon bronze type metal spray. So the next thing you'll see on the video is the actual process, and then we'll come back and explain what we've done and how the piece looks once it's finished. We're back again. As you saw outside when we were flame spraying this, all the repairs have been done to that piece. It's back as long as it should. It needs some fine tuning, which Don here from American Plating will do when he gets it back in there. He'll explain a little bit about do's and don'ts when you're working with metal spray. But there is enough material here. It has a lot of integrity, and the piece is usable again. So Don can tell you a little bit about what not to do and what to do, and pieces like this, why it's important to try to get some type of surface on that is not contaminated and blisters.
Exactly. The way we flame spray, and the reason why, is because contaminated pot metal will blister, which you know already. And when pot metal is so contaminated that you can't do nothing with it. Now, if this piece was completely, Lou would have sprayed this whole thing, but this one was just broke, and we have good quality pot metal, or die-cast zinc. And so the trick to it is not getting it hot. So anytime you're working with die-cast and flame spray, you want to use your bare hands when you're grinding with your little type 2 disc, 2-inch disc that I'll use on this one. And I'll start out with an 80 grit and sand it down with a DA afterwards to like a 220. And then I'll go to copper buff, and then nickel chrome. This piece will look exactly like this one by the time we get done.
And that's pretty much what the metal spray will save. We've saved a lot of pieces that people have said were either non-existent or so rare that they were just out of the price range that a guy could afford. So if you have any questions about metal spray or what can be sprayed, you can either email us at customguy@comcast.net, or you can give us a call at 360-357-9642, and we'll hook you up with what can be done, what can't be done, and also one hell of a good chrome plater right here.
Anything's possible.